it feels like right now, like I just like when I play Marth, anytime like I feel like I'm like trying to play like horizontally versus them, I feel like I never ever win unless it's like super mixed. Unless I'm like beforehand, I'm like constantly doing jumping, and then I like it's like a super hard mix up of like going in with running shine. But if I just in general play like horizontally, I feel like I'm never ever winning neutral. It might be because like I just don't have like my mix ups fleshed out well enough, and I just have like they're more predictable than I think they are. But yeah.
Okay. Well, you started with a great thought, which is full hop helps out your horizontal stuff, right?
Yeah.
So if you're having trouble with horizontal, definitely mix in full hop. And then, do you remember how we taught you how to use full hop in combat?
Yeah.
From about where would you full hop onto Marth? Yeah, around there, right? So like you get to that spot around here, yeah, and then you make that full hop decision. Exactly. Right?
Yeah.
So anytime horizontally is not working, you should probably stop moving closer to Marth.
Right.
And some of the trouble might be you're moving too quickly, and then he just grabs you. Or he just dash attacks you, or he F smashes you.
Yeah, like say like okay, it's like okay, I'm gonna play like the horizontal game with Marth. I'm gonna try to bait him in with like something like that, right? Like if he's dash dancing, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Well, what you also
Like
have to know is like right now your control is not very good, right? Like even if I was dash dancing, I'd be grabbing you, right?
Yeah.
So like one is like you're still trying to play the horizontal, but you're not executing the idea correctly.
Okay.
Right.
What do you mean by that?
Well, you want to play horizontal distance, but like sometimes you're just in the threat range. Right? You're losing because your idea of it is fine, but you're not executing it correctly. Right.
But it's like it feels like when Marth is dash dancing, it feels so hard to just like space so well, like around like say like down tilt or something.
It is hard.
If they go in with that, or just
it
hard. Feels, yeah.
Don't make it easier. Well, also notice how you're moving. The way you move, you're moving so fast that you honestly cannot react to how I move.
Yeah.
How can you react to down tilt if you're moving in such a way that you don't know where you are?
Well, that's true, but how do you think I can like? How do you think I should be moving?
Well, let's just stop. Let's just stop and just talk about baby steps, right? Okay. If you can't deal with this, right? You don't need a mastermind plan. I don't need you to dash dance perfectly all the time or move so fast, right? The point of the game is not to overwhelm your opponent with mesmerizing movement. The point is not to get hit by this or this.
Yeah.
Right? So like you should just go back to step 0.
Okay.
Right? Stop dashing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth before you make your decision, right? Like I think your first line of movement is this. Right? It's like you do like at least 3. Why are you doing 3?
It's just probably a subconscious habit that's ingrained in my head to do that many.
Yeah. So stop doing 3. 3 is an overcommitment. One is a commitment. Now you're doing 3 times that. Right? So start from ground 0.
Yeah, when you say that, it makes me think about like top players and how their decisions are just like instantaneous and always like there's like you can tell the intention in them, and they're just if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But like for like me right now, I'm like doing this extra bit, you know.
Yeah, stop doing extra bits. Like sometimes.
Just, like, if I have, you think are you trying to say like if I have like a decision, just like I had to like do it immediately, don't like waste time doing extra.
Well, right now is you can't do decisions quickly because you're already doing extra stuff, right? So it's like it's the age-old phrase, dude. Like you can't wait for a bus if you're not at the bus stop.
Right.
Right. So like your dude is moving, so he's not waiting.
Okay.
Right. So like, do you remember like if you face me from this position, you can dash punish me from everything, right?
Yeah.
But how often are you in this exact.
Yeah, like I constantly feel like in this I'm like I feel like I always struggle to stay in this because I'm always moving, you know what I mean? Like it's hard like okay, I can't get myself to this exact spot because I'm constantly moving and it's it's hard to execute that when you're already doing like all this extra stuff,
Then stop
you
doing
know?
all that extra stuff.
Um, do you feel like I should like replace it with just nothing, like and just build my way up with
Yeah,
like
you should start from
say
ground
like
zero, man.
intentional
You
like
should start from ground zero.
if I want to move it should have an intention behind it.
Yes. Right. So
Okay.
so like let's go to center ground. Let's go to center ground.
Okay.
Okay. So remember this distance, right?
Yeah.
So I dash back. What do you do?
Dash forward.
Once. Yeah, exactly. And then I do something, you kind of think about it. It's not like dash forward, go, right?
I feel like I'm still like afraid of doing nothing. Like I feel like it's hard to go from doing nothing to doing something in
Well,
a
I'll
sense.
tell you, doing nothing is the same as what you were doing because neither hit me or did something, right? You're not pressuring
Yeah.
me with your movement. Your movement is not designed to pressure me. Your movement is designed to relieve you of nervousness.
Mm-hmm. That makes a lot of sense.
Right. If so like there's lots of situations like go ahead and shine me.
Okay.
Um how do you just knock me down? Okay. So like here. Right. There are lots of times where people will just start dash dancing for whatever reason,
Yeah.
right? And if you ever
Maybe
go like there, you just messed up.
probably go like move away.
Yeah. There's only so far you have to go because my get up attack won't hit you and then you cover up
Yeah.
my rollout or whatever, right? So
Yeah.
like the things that you're doing is just you're not considering what's happening, right? You're so afraid of being ready or not doing something, and you're masking it with movement, right? But it's not even
Hmm.
your control,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So like, I don't know, man. When a driver has to execute a difficult corner, they don't just floor it,
Right.
right? They think about the corner, they get closer to it, and they appreciate it.
I feel like there's like a recurring theme. Like it's not like the main thing we always talk about, but it always feels like it leads up to like doing too much and just having to cut the extra weight out.
Yeah, I mean, when you're here, right? You don't have to move
Yeah.
until I move. Right, and you can threaten stuff, right? But you don't have to threaten stuff
Right.
that's gonna
Oh
get
yeah, yeah,
punished.
that's another thing. I feel like I can't get the Marth to do something unless I'm moving.
No,
I
no,
can't get him to swing unless I go in there and go out. You know what I mean?
no,
But
dude. And next time you fight Marth, so roll backwards, shoot one laser at me, or do the short hop laser, whatever, right? I guarantee you, you just have to shoot one. You just have to shoot one.
right.
I guarantee you, he'll do something. Don't shoot more. Don't shoot more. Just shoot one and be ready.
Okay.
Don't move. Don't do anything. Just shoot one and be ready.
Yeah.
Okay. So shoot one. So I dashed at you and then you dash back, right?
Yeah.
So shoot one. Okay, that's okay, right? You did two dashes. Right? But like
Right.
do you see it's like a response stimuli?
Mm-hmm.
And like sometimes you're responding way too much.
So it's like there's no need to do it. You can get the same answer with so much less.
Yeah, like we'll think about like at the end result,
And
what did
even
you
like
want to
and
do?
right, I with the laser, I
Well, no,
wanted
no,
you to
no.
come towards me.
Well,
What?
okay, so after the laser you start moving or whatever, right? You start doing whatever
Yeah.
your natural instincts tell you to do, right?
Yeah.
End that sentence for me. What does that lead to?
Um. Say that again. Sorry.
So like after this laser you're about to dash dance and do whatever your neutral game plan was, right?
Yeah.
What is the next step of that? Are you about to grab me? Are you about to nair me? What's going on in your
Well,
head?
so like when you dash forward, I dash back, but then the next thought in my head is like I can't just like keep going back because there's the chance like I'm thinking that Marth could just just put me in the corner. Like I have to engage at some point if he's gonna like go towards me, right?
So your
So I
thought is I
dash
have
back
to engage.
at some point, yes. Because like if he's like just dashing towards me, like if I don't do anything, eventually I'm gonna be over here, right? Like possibly in my head if I think he's going to.
I mean,
But if I
you could
don't,
just hold
then
your
I could
ground.
just
You don't have to dash back every time I dash at you. You can cross me up too.
yeah. Well, I mean, and that's why like that's where like I was thinking like once I dash back I go in, but like you're right, I don't have to dash back every time. Like if I shoot a laser then think you're gonna come in, I can just throw the dash forward, right?
Okay, well yeah, but
Or just
okay.
like one thing.
I started this experiment with you begin your neutral game and then end the sentence, right? And you basically you said, I have to engage,
Yes.
right? So in between you shooting the laser and then you doing whatever it is, your next line of thought was I have to engage. Well, how are you engaging? Nair, grab. Well, you play it off neutral, okay? But
Yeah.
what did you actually do in between those steps, right? Did the actions and movements and those things that you do reflect your thought?
Um.
You get
Well,
what I'm
like
saying?
I think I do like the actions and movement. Are you trying to say like it should be just like straight to the point with what my decisions are and what I like do in response to my decisions? Like I don't need to be doing this because that's not like a direct reflection of it. That's just there's no point doing that. Like if
Well,
I want to engage, then I just do something like that, right?
yeah. So like, you do these dash dances in a game to mix up your timing, right?
Yeah.
And it's I'm not telling you to go in every single time on your first thought. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What I'm saying is have the idea and have a clear idea of what you want to do, right? So you shot a laser and then you dashed back and then you said I have to engage. Well, if you
Yeah.
have to engage, it's not do this until I see a time, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right? It's not just panic,
Mhm.
right? So like translate your thought I have to engage into okay, I'm going to back off and wait for these approaches, right? You're looking for like
Yeah.
this or this.
Right.
Right? And if you look for specific ones, you only have to counter specific ones.
Mhm.
Right? But right now you're like kind of panicking.
Yeah. I
Right?
see
You're
what
not
you're saying.
translating your thought into what's actually happening. You're like moving so fast, you're like, okay, I'm gonna move so
Yeah.
so
Right.
fast and now engage.
And I'm just like my thought process. It's like, especially like when I'm playing somebody that's like a lot faster than me and they're playing fast. Like I just try to like speed up my thought process. Like okay, I have to keep up. I have to make fast decisions, and it's like going too fast in my head, and that's just bad.
well,
It's like it's detrimental, right, to like my thought process.
well, I'll tell you this. You can think fast and play fast, but are your actions reflecting your thoughts?
Yeah.
Right? So when you're moving cluttered and all that stuff, right? Are you able to execute the idea you're about to think or ask yourself to do, right? So like remember I told you there are a lot of times where you're dash dancing and there's no way you're dash dancing with finesse and control that you're gonna just pop out and hit me, right?
Yeah.
Right? But like when you get better, you can do that.
Mhm.
Right? But right now you don't have such control or thought over your dashes that you know like exactly how you're gonna hit Marth or how to avoid this dash attack, right?
Yeah.
Right now, like you're still dash dancing just like right into this, and you're like, well, when Marth dash dances, he's not gonna just do this. Well, he's just gonna grab you, or he's gonna hit you with this, right? It's the same
It's
concept,
like that's right. Yeah.
right? So like you need to display more control over your own character so that you can start doing what you're thinking,
Mhm.
right? Don't be at the mercy of these weird movements that you've trained yourself to do. You always dash dance 3 times back and forth until you make a decision. Like these are
Yeah.
weird things that you've become mercy to.
Mhm. That makes a lot of sense. So, would you say like just when I play from now on, like obviously you know, I should be moving in some sense at some point, but I should start it slow and work my way back up, so I'm not just like stuck into these habits of doing specific like over complicated movement patterns.
For me, when I was learning this stuff, dude, I started from the very, very beginning. So, like, do dash, wave dash, dash. Right? In different directions, right? And then you start mixing in different things. You're like, okay, how can I do aerials in different drifts into wave dash, or like, right? You like think about each of these movements as singular things. Yeah. Not as big chunks. Right now, you do big chunks of like you just
like
get lost.
Individual, like think about like the individual movement things. So like it's like wave dash back dash this way.
Something like that. Yeah. Can you do wave dash back up tilt?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So like there's all these little movement things, right? And you just need to be much more specific with each of your intentions, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you practice. So like the way you practice is the way you play. So when you practice, you do this mindless 3 dash dance into action.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the whole time you just skipped your ideas of what are these dash dances?
They're nothing. They're just
Well, it was you getting over your nervousness of doing nothing. Right?
Right.
But now when you practice this at home, right? When we're doing nothing, you're going to feel more comfortable. Right? You have control over your character. I go exactly where I want to go. I move the way I want to. Like, the worst thing that can happen, dude, is the match is like here and you don't feel safe.
Right.
Or like, like roll back.
Yeah, that's what it all comes down to. Like I'm moving because I'm like I don't feel safe standing still. Like the threat of just Marth moving up. So I feel like when I'm moving, I feel more ready to do something.
But are you?
No.
You're not necessarily, right? Just roll back one second.
Maybe in some sense, right? But like.
Just roll back for me. Just roll back one time. Okay. Yeah. Right here is the time you should stop panicking.
Yeah.
Right. You never want to panic as Fox in this position. You're going to commit to too much stuff. You're going to commit to all these dashes, and Marth comes in at you.
Right.
Fox has the best move kit in the game.
And like, do you think that it's like that also is taking away from like me looking at the opponent, what the opponent's doing too?
Well, like I guarantee you, the way you move, you can't move and attack like accurately where I am because you don't know what you're moving like, right?
Mm-hmm.
And until you completely understand what you look like or you move like, you can't move without looking at yourself, right?
Yeah.
Right, think about it, dude. You're driving a car that's so fast, you literally don't understand what's about to happen. So of course you're gonna check up on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So fix that part. No one controls Fox but you. Well, you're Fox, right?
Yeah.
Right. So get it to a point where you're comfortable driving him and you don't have to look at him. And then when Marth presents you something, you can go, it's time to do something, it's time to back off, it's time to relax, it's time to do exactly what I want to do.
Okay.
Right. If you're in this position and you're panicking in the game, dude, there's something wrong. Right. This is what your training's for. You're in neutral, you're far away. If Marth comes at you, have a plan.
Marth comes at me. So I like that sentence thing though that we did. Like, I feel like I should just be doing that more honestly, and just like think about what like. I feel like first I should think about like what like I naturally feel like I should do, like my gut feeling, like reaction to that, and then also just come up with like other ideas, you know?
Yeah. Express those ideas through actions, right? And not convoluted actions, not I'm just gonna panic move until it happens.
And like a way I feel like I think about the game is like I constantly think about like in my head when I'm just theory crafting, like I don't feel like this is as much as how I think actually in game, but it's usually like I think about just too many options at once. Like, okay, so what has he done in the past that will lead up, like should I be considering everything he's done before this exact sequence? You know what I mean?
I mean, you can think about some of that stuff, but you can't let that compromise the game state, right? There's a lot of times where you let that compromise the game state, where you misposition or don't attack, or
Yeah, it's all in like the present moment, and like
Yeah.
sometimes get caught up in the past of like other things, and it's like that slows down correct decision making.
Yeah,
You
dude.
know?
And when you watch other foxes, right? Definitely pause the game and ask what their intention is. Right? Did you have the same type of intention as they did?
Yeah, yeah.
And then if they did, how did they express themselves? Right?
There was another really big thing I wanted to go over with Marth, and that's edge guarding Marth
Okay.
specifically, because there's a Marth player that I play a lot, and he's feels a lot harder at edge guarding than any other Marth I've played. It feels like what happens is he gets to like maybe not here, but like he like mixes up double jumping to the ledge and then or dropping down and sweet spotting, but when he drops down to sweet spot, it feels like he will react to like where I go, and like if he sees that I'm about to, I know like I can bait him like doing something like this, but I feel like I get hit a lot out of that because he's so quick at just like reacting to it and deciding whether to perfectly sweet spot it or just going straight up immediately and hitting me. And I feel like I just struggle with just handling that situation entirely. And another big thing he does is he just sweet spots around Marth Killer.
He's sweet spot that's around Marth Killer.
He like, yeah, he like up Bs. I don't know exactly how he does it. I'm not a Marth player, but it feels like he's really good at going like he'll like up B like right here, or not right there. I don't know. I'm not a Marth player.
With
like
your big shield tilted out like that, you should be able to get every version of it. And if you can't, you can jump out and shine.
Yeah, I don't do that enough at all. Like there's a few times I do, but in
you don't have to
like
do
that, I just feel
full
like
hop either. Yeah, but let's just relax and do it one thing at a time, okay? So just hold up.
Okay. All right.
One is show me like a shine over the edge, and then you double jump onto stage again. So like yeah, let's start here, shine, and then yeah. All right, and now do it a little bit taller. No, it's like start here. Start here.
Okay.
Sure hop back. Yeah. Yeah, you can use full hop. Use full hop. Right. So when you use full hop, now make it so it's over the edge. No, over the like
the
above,
oh,
vertically
like
above.
Yeah.
Okay. Now go slightly more to the left.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. This.
See, I feel like I don't have like things fleshed out with edge guarding Marth to that degree where I feel like technically proficient and everything.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Look at this practice alone, right? This is you're planting your feet in a specific spot and getting these different versions of shine, right? That's all we're practicing.
But I feel like if I'm here.
Hold up. Don't. Hold up. Look how this beats every version of this jump.
Yeah.
You just have to eventually put your body over me with that shine, or you double jump out. There's no threat, okay? So just do it.
Okay.
Right?
It feels so intimidating to do that because it just, in my mind, I'm like, he might just swap me down like that or something. You know what I mean?
What I tell you about the high shine though, right? So jump, yeah.
Okay.
So sometimes you're doing it too late. You're still just doing and you're not fast falling, right? Show me different versions of this where you fast fall, you don't, right? This is pretty safe, dude. You're at 0%. You have your double jump.
Okay. Yeah, this is like a mix-up. I never do this. I never am doing this to Marth ever.
If he's gonna grab the ledge, do that.
But can he like dip down really low and just sweet spot past it?
Okay, that's one of the mix-ups. But if you're never threatening this, how is he ever gonna?
Yeah,
be forced to do that?
Because I never am. So like that's a big hole in my edge guarding system.
Okay. Now show me this one. Grab the ledge. Shine back here.
Okay.
Faster. Yeah. Do you do this one?
Your
shine is too low. Your shine needs to be closer to the ledge. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
I do not do this one. The thing I do versus him a lot that I find works a lot is I'll like jump out like here and jump up and back there because he's usually falling down. He's really good at not like he doesn't feel like he does bad side beats often, so I don't find myself like shining his side beats a lot. Whereas
Show me,
other Marths
show me
like
that
you-
back here again. Show me that back here that you did, the jump out back here.
Oh, like this. Yeah.
Okay.
I like jump out there.
Hey, now I want you to start here, face left, dash full hop shine. No, farther where that back air was.
Oh, okay.
Where that back air was. Yes. And you can also use your double jump, right?
Yeah,
So why are you back airing when you can shine?
that's true. So I feel like
Show me this full hop.
like
again.
I just feel safer with the back there, you know.
No, show me this full hop. This dash full hop. You're not getting the dash full hop good. Yeah. And then do it higher, like where the back air would connect.
Okay.
Use your double jump if necessary. Alright, so do the full hop double jump. Yeah. If you connect that, do you think he's coming back?
No. That's another thing in my mind, and sometimes I feel like I get stuck in the right and wrong like mindset of doing things, and I just cut out like entire options out of my brain.
Dude, go back to ground zero. Go back to ground zero and then watch pro matches. What does Shine do to Marth off stage?
Kills him.
It kills him. It's 100% death. If he gets shined off stage, he dies.
Yeah.
There's two exceptions to when you don't shine him. Don't shine him when he has double jump. Okay? Don't do that type of jump when he has double jump. Why? Because there's too many mix-ups you can do. Right?
You could just like jump up and fair, right?
Well, you might just miss. You don't want to be out there missing. That's just the end way you say it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So show me walk up one, yeah, right there, and then turn around. Full hop back, shine. Right? So if he has a double jump, that's the one you do. No, don't do two.
Okay.
If he has double jump, why do you stay close to the stage? So you can double jump back out.
Right.
Right? And you do it faster. Show me the shine jump back on. Yeah. You want to do it fast, and sometimes you do it above the edge. Yeah. Right? Because he's trying to grab it from above. He's trying to double jump and grab that ledge, right?
Yeah.
So show me a couple from above again. Above the ledge. Above the ledge. No. You want to be left of the ledge and above. Yep.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Higher. Nope, higher. Yep. More left and higher. More left. There you go. Right? How is he supposed to drift into that ledge?
Can't. He would have to go low, wouldn't he?
He'd have to go low. So hey.
And once he goes low, I can do this.
So yes. So he goes low. You're back on the stage, and then maybe you do that back air, like you threaten with back air, right? No.
Yeah.
So you land on stage. So go do that shine. Land on stage. Low back air. Yes. Right?
Yeah.
He has to time it
These
so
are things
fast.
I never fleshed out. Yeah.
Right? He has to. Okay, I have to dip low.
make
Now I
it
have to
work a lot
up B.
harder.
Right?
Yeah.
Getting that
And he
roll.
would have to up B early, and then I could rinse and repeat or do something, shine him, you know.
Yeah. But getting that roll into that light shield is going to take too much time to set up.
Yeah.
Right? So when you do these shines that I'm showing you, these low commit shines, you like threaten something and force him to do something else. Right? It's really safe, dude, this shine, especially if you do it higher. You're not doing it above the ledge. Yeah. Yeah, this is very safe. You force him to go low, and then when you land as fast as you can, you do a low back air or you ledge steal. Or, dude, you do that shine, and then you just, instead of landing on stage, you just grab the ledge.
Yeah. That's all. See, there's so many different possibilities, like you said, just with things you can do. And like, I'm just like, I don't even like consider any of these until now, obviously.
Well, have you just case studied this? Have you just looked at only Fox edge guarding Marth?
I recently started trying to like, since he was going low a lot, I was trying to like pretend like I'm going to ledge, then jump up, and then try to like back air it. But like, it was like poorly executed a lot, and I didn't, I haven't tried it out enough yet. But yeah.
Well, also just go to YouTube, dude. Go to YouTube and watch how Mango does it, how other Foxes are doing it.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't do that enough. I need to do that more. It's so good.
What are the pros doing, and how can you practice that way? right? You have that question. Examine the question through YouTube.
Yeah, this is really good.
Right? You have different mix-ups. You can do the Marth Killer now. You can do ledge.
Yeah.
You can do grab ledge, shine back air. Do the fast shine
And
back
do
air.
you think if they're dipping low, I should usually not be grabbing ledge? Like if they're already like dipping really low, like down here, and they have their double jump.
If they're dipping low, you should grab a ledge and then roll.
Okay. Even at like over 100%, and like they have the possibility of going on stage, or would you say
If
like?
they go on stage, you up smash them.
But if I'm over 100%, will I not have enough time for that? To like,
Do pick a
well, I mean,
different
I
option
could
then. I don't know.
yeah.
Fox is the fastest character in the game with the best frame data in the game, dude. You should be able to win on every single position.
Right.
Right. If something doesn't work out, your tech skill will improve, so I can give you the harder answer.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But for now, I'm giving you some things that you're just working on right now, like that, right?
Yeah.
You'll figure out perfect solutions eventually, right? But right now, just explore some more stuff. Don't be afraid, you know, like, that's not safe or whatever. Like, you know, go to YouTube. How do they make it safe? Some of these versions you're doing don't exist, so be careful how you practice. You want to play friendly?
Yeah. All right.
Holy smash the eye.
It's not good.
shit, dude.
Thanks.
Your movement was much more intentional too.
Yeah, gave me a lot to think about.
You want to do
And
another one?
I felt I was thinking about your edge guarding thing, and I could already I was just testing out the mix of. I feel like I'm not really good at executing it yet, but it's in my mind, which I feel is good and can be really good in the future. Once I flesh it out more, right?
The fact that you're threatening shine and you're trying it out, and I know you're trying to
Yeah.
do those different dashes and fast falls, and you'll get better at it.
Right. But yeah, I already feel a lot better with edge guarding. So you gave me a lot to think about, and I feel I feel like wow, I can't believe I just missed. It feels like it's such an obvious part to threaten, and I'm not even considering it up until now. It feels just dumb of me.
Dude, yeah. If you ever want to edge guard, just shine. Good. See?
Another thing, which I feel like I kind of know the answer to, it just works. It just discipline itself, but find myself dropping a combo versus Marth and immediately trying to just trying to pick it up, even though it's obvious I can't. I just get swung out of the air. Usually it turns into a Marth combo itself. Say I'll up throw you and I'll miss the dash back into up air or something to follow it up, and then what I'll do is usually after that I'll still try to get a hit off it when I just need to recognize I messed up and take the center,
So when you recognize that, also imagine it from their perspective, right? They still have to do something. They're still in the air, or they're still recovering.
They still have to come down, right?
Yeah. So remember that you're Fox. You win in all positions, right?
Yeah.
Anytime you're losing, it's probably because you put yourself in a bad spot. Right. So
I feel like I'm too afraid to threaten Marth's landing because of fair. I feel like a lot of times
crouch.
Marth will come down,
Crouch.
put out the fair.
Crouch.
Yeah.
Block. Dash dance.
I don't do that.
Dash dance.
What I usually do is I just stay away, and I need to at least.
Well, I mean, if you get better at dash dancing, dude, you'll just dash dance outside of the sphere. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're scared of one
dash
thing,
dancing has intention because I'm intentionally trying to dash outside of that fair as he's coming down, right?
Yeah. So dude, if you're scared of exactly one thing, that means you're not scared. Right? That means you're covering exactly one thing. So don't get hit by fair or falling aerial or whatever, right?
Right.
If you know what you're worried about, just do everything in your power to stop that from happening. Stop putting yourself in risky situations.
This is good. I like this. That's a situation that happened to me a lot right there. I just try to go in, I get antsy, try to jump down there, hit Marth, he just jumps up, fairs me.
What did I tell you about grabbing the ledge and doing shine back here?
Yeah. If he has his double jump, right?
So grab the ledge and do shine back here. No, do the shine closer to the edge. It's immediately shine back here, yeah. So if he jumps into the ledge, you're invincible doing shine back here.
Yeah.
You need to do that a lot more. That is a very universal edge guard in all matchups.
Yeah.
Right? You're invincibly shining back airing. What can go wrong, dude?
Nothing.
Well, the thing that can go wrong is form, right? But like, you just need to be invincible, doing invincible moves.
Right, right.
I just do down B, yeah. Just press down and B together. You can use up to jump cancel, you can use whatever, but the point is just invincibly shine back here.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I did not mean that.
Good spacing. Dude, you're already moving so much differently than at the beginning.
Yeah.
Good, dude. Oh, shit. Oh, head recovery.
Yeah.
Dude, your movement's really good now. It's very
Thank you.
deliberate. Your positioning and being
Gotta
ready.
keep that up. I feel like sometimes, like, you know, I'll be thinking about my Layla, and I feel like I'll get into like the habit of having more intentional movement, but I feel like eventually it starts to like stale out into just back into what that is, you know. So I feel like it's gonna be like something I got to keep in mind constantly up until like for longer periods of time than I have in the past, so that it becomes more subconscious. Because I feel like, okay, so I feel like every time I keep that in mind, that to be more intentional, overall my movement feels more intentional, but then like eventually it feels like I start to build up like fat on it again of just useless movement, but like there's still more intention that there was in the past.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, this happens to everyone, man. And go back to what I started with. Remember when I said when we go back to ground zero, how I moved upwards?
Yeah.
I thought about each individual piece and linking them together, right?
Right. Right.
So let's go back to that, okay? Let's go back to your ground movement, right? So show me some different ground movement patterns. Don't try not to show me the same one in the next 10 seconds.
Do you want me to tell you what I think of like the movement patterns?
No, I want you to move and show me movement patterns for the next 10 seconds on the ground. Yeah. Just move differently. Don't show me the same one and keep moving. Okay, you haven't shown me any dash dance variations. There you go. You haven't shown me any wave dash downs. There you go. Okay, you show me a few full hops. Show me some short hops. Show me different ones. More different. Wave dash backs. Wave dash forwards. Wave dash dash. You see this exercise though?
Yeah, this is good.
Like, have you like have you seriously thought about like how can I change the way I branch forward from neutral?
Mm-hmm. I have not. Like, I mean, I guess in some senses I have, but
Well, you
know, like,
you have, right?
Not as like direct as that like question, right?
Well, the way you did it before was you did dash dance left and right 3 times.
Yeah, right.
Right. You picked a solution and then you just skipped the rest of that part.
Right.
Right. And that solution worked out for so long. And
yeah.
Eventually you go back and you know, you go to this drawing step and you'll learn like 3 or 4 different movements, right?
And like if you think about like what the opponent might think when they see these, do you think that's like good of like thinking about what the opponent might think when they see this? So like this is like a movement pattern I came up with and it feels super successful. Like so say like I like to like, you know, wave dash back up tilt versus like floaties or like wave dash back like full hop. So that, you know, they'll think like, okay, so he's trying to like put out these hitboxes. So when they see that, they might move back to avoid them. So what I do is I'll wave dash back and then dash the other way and grab because they'll move back. Or like I'll wave dash back, and I think that's like a cool concept of just like coming up with like things that are like the counter. They're like the opposite of what the opponent might think, right? And understanding what the opponent thinks when they see certain movement patterns and playing around that.
Yeah.
Right.
You made a good point. So like this up tilt to dash grab works on slower characters, right? And you'll find different things where like you did it to me. You did running shine nair.
Yeah.
Right? This works against faster opponents, right? Where the nair covers the weaknesses of shine. Right, now you're thinking about layering. Right, you're like, I'm gonna do something into something else. This is a layer. Right? You should like full hop back air to wave dash back up tilt or something like that, right? Like these are different layers. So like when you go back to your fundamental building blocks, what I was getting at is you'll figure out a couple of movement patterns, and they'll get you as far as they'll get you. Right? Until you need to start doing more. And when you go into tournament, you're gonna get flustered and do fake ones or bad ones when your normal ones aren't working. You there? You there?
Hello?
Yo.
Alright, I'm back.
Okay. Did you hear the last part?
I did not.
God damn it, I forgot what I just said.
We were talking about like I just showed you like the wave dash back up tilt and how
Okay, layers, right?
That.
We're talking about
and then you
layers.
were talking you're talking about the shine there.
Okay. And so when you go back to like the movement patterns that you're building on the ground or whatever, you're gonna use whatever you use and you're gonna get by with them in tournament until they start failing, And when they start failing,
Right.
you're gonna start doing bad or weird movement patterns to compensate.
Right, right.
Right? You're gonna
I
be
can already think of situations where that happens like a lot, like recently versus the Marth I play. Like it's like, yeah,
you're gonna be uncomfortable because the things that you practiced are not working out. So,
right,
so you're gonna start doing new things, which you don't want to do too many new things in tournament. You want to do things that you're practiced, right?
right. You want to think you're confident in,
Well,
comfortable with.
yeah. So go back to those beginning tools that you had, right? So those beginning
Hmm.
tools that you had were not fully fleshed out, or they had weaknesses. And you said you thought
Yeah,
about your offensive layers, right? As I do
yeah.
this, and then I backdash grab, right? But like,
Hmm.
think about that with your movement too. Like I have this type of movement. What if he comes in? Well, I can move away, or I can control myself in this way, or I
Yeah.
can block or crouch, or
Like I was thinking about like adding layers to that. You know, like say like I move away, but like I immediately wave dash down. You know what I mean? So like he might be expecting like a full dash away like this, but instead it's just like or like a shield stop. You know, like just shield
yeah.
like a he might see that and they'll throw him off because he's not used to seeing this subconsciously, right?
Well, as long as you're also ready, right? You don't want your movements to be so convoluted that you're not able to be ready.
Right, right.
So remember when we went back to step 0 and I said, think about actions linking into each other, right? They always
Hmm.
need to end with wait, or be able to cancel into wait. Or if they
Yes,
don't
yes,
cancel
that
into
makes a
wait,
lot of sense.
yeah, if they don't cancel into wait, they're going to cancel into like shield and you can attack at a shield or something, right?
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
The,
That's a
the,
good thing to keep in mind a lot, actually.
yeah, the point of all these movements is to become available at the right
Right,
time.
right, right. That I was about to say, like, what you're trying to say is like, just you have to always be ready out of everything you do. Like every decision you make, at least have the opportunity, like the backup plan of just like, okay, I can still be like, I'm still on my feet, right?
Yes.
Like I messed up, but I'm still on my feet.
Yes. Right. And same goes with your movement, dude. You don't want your movement to stop you from being ready.
Yeah, like I'm not on my feet if I mess up right here, right?
Yes.
Like it's like I can't, like, oh, my plan failed, but I can't, I can't, like, I can't easily stop.
Exactly. Exactly, dude. So you're in control of when you're on your feet or not, right? The opponent will
Right.
do their best to topple you, but it's up to you
Yeah.
to be on your feet.
Mhm.
Right? So don't make it harder on yourself.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's stuck.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
Good positioning. Great dash dance. Oh my god. Nice. Good catch.
Do you have any other lessons besides FIFA?
No, it's just you two today.
Nice. I wanted to also ask you today about just like thoughts, what you think like someone, like just like a player of my level should be, like should keep in mind when going to a national. Like obviously it's not my first national or anything, but like going to a national and possibly playing like a player like Crush, like what I should go into, like keep in mind going into, like should
Sure.
think about, you know.
Sure. So one thing a player at your skill level should definitely keep in mind is that you might not meet him in bracket to begin with, right?
Right. Yeah.
You still have to meet him in bracket, so don't get too
Still
ahead of
gotta get
yourself.
past the other people, right?
Yeah. So don't get too ahead of yourself, and remember that the lesson that we did right now is going to change the way you play, which might affect your placements.
Yeah.
Right. So remember that this is not necessarily the report card you want to use to reflect on how you are, right? This is more of a big advanced course for you. You get to play as many people as you can and learn as fast as you can.
Yeah.
Right. So I wouldn't take the results too close to heart because it really just means on what you need to improve instead of how good you are.
Right.
That being said, the tech skill is very high on the West Coast. So you're gonna have to just use your brains and your ability to stay on your feet to keep up, right? I would say if you ever get overwhelmed and you want to just think fast again, is to go back to what we talked about, is to play as good as you can, right?
Right.
Be conscious of your decisions, and until you are in control of yourself, you won't be in control of the match.
Yeah.
There are key moments you're always going to win, right? Like when you start up smash comboing them, or up throwing them, or shining them, right? So just get back to that point in the match where you can feel comfortable again and start doing the things that you're good at.
A big thing that I've had, like, recently, like, it's only been coming up recently, and I know, like, the answer is probably just experience, but, like the past few nationals, I've been making it, like, a few rounds into, like, phase 2, which I used to never happen, you know, it's a new thing from improving at the game, so. And, like, the further I go, it just, the more, like, nervous I feel.
It's everyone, man. Everyone gets through that, right? And the nervousness stops because it won't stop because you keep going further than you think you can, or like you don't know how far you can go, or right. And until you start really understanding yourself and like understanding what your weaknesses are, because right now you're still learning so much, right?
Right.
I would try to remove yourself from that. Like you're like a beginner tennis player, right? Who's like beating up everyone he knows locally and going to a national tournament, right? It's a whole world of skill in between what you're doing and what the other guy's doing.
It's like I'm less able to predict like what I'm going up against, you know, than at a local.
Yeah, and just be open-minded to learning everything you can.
Right.
Right. There's a lot of times where I've been salty or had bad experiences when you travel, and the best way to get through it is to play more people and to do what you do good, right? Don't, you know, you start getting chain grabbed, you start getting gimped. There's a lot of things that can go wrong, right? But normalize the fight, figure out what they're doing, avoid it, and do your game plan.
I think I'm good at doing that.
Let's just end with a friendly, and then I'll start Ryan's lesson.
Oh, you know, you mean Clark. I'm Brian.
Oh. Hey, I meant person. Look at that delivery.
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
Yeah. Oh shit, nice.
Not a true combo. Oh!
I did not think I was gonna. I meant to like dash in too, which I feel like would have that reversed it. I need to wake him up. I think he's sleeping.
Alright, let me just write down some things we went over, because we talked about a lot of stuff, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Deliberate movement. Staying. With shine. Movement from the basics. Available neutral. My back, though. was a lot of talking.
Yeah.
Oh, you're still here. Okay. So it was deliberate movement, becoming available and neutral, edgeguarding Marth with shine, movement from the basics, and building up from ground zero.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just getting you on those ground game movements differently and
Yeah.
making sure you're available, really.
Oh,
How
I'm
long
gonna
have you
go
been
wake him
playing,
up.
man?
Like 2.5 years.
Okay. He's still sleeping?
I gotta wake him up. Yeah, let me get him. Carson, it's time for you to get up.
It's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon over there.
Yeah, he has a really bad sleep schedule. All right. Well, I'm on my phone, so I'm gonna disconnect, and then he's gonna probably connect.
Alright, cool.
You don't even need to end the net play thing, because